Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a decent middle of the week so far. I wanted to talk a little bit about something. This kind of perturbs me a little bit, and I'll give you the reason why here in a minute. But before I get into that, if you are new to the channel, or if you're new to hockey in general, and you've fallen in love with the sport, like I have, like I have since I was a little kid, and you just you love any kind of hockey. If you love the sport, it would be awesome. It would be greatly appreciated if you would hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded, you can hit the little bell. And that will turn on notifications, and you'll be notified anytime future videos are uploaded. Now, the 2023 Hall of Fame class was announced, and there's some deserving players in there. I mean, Pierre Turgeon, Henrik Lundqvist, Mike Vernon is in there. Pierre Lacroix is in there as a builder. Tom Barrasso. There's some really good players, decent deserving players who are going in this year. One name, he's been overlooked for a long time, and now the reason that he's being overlooked, I'm sorry, it's an absolute sin. A complete and total sin and an abomination. Alexander Mogilny. This is why I'm wearing the Buffalo Sabres here. Alexander Mogilny was an incredible hockey player. He scored over 1,000 points in a little over 900 games. He was absolutely electric. I believe he finally won a Stanley Cup. I believe it was 2003 with New Jersey. I think it was 2003. He defected from the Soviet Union to come and play over here, which, by the way, that's not exactly the easiest thing to do back then. To defect? I mean, Evgeny Malkin had to defect to come over and play. And he again has been denied by the Hockey Hall of Fame. And the reason... to me, it's so dumb, because it's purely political. The only reason that Alexander Mogilny, he's not being held out of the Hockey Hall of Fame because of his credentials, because he's done it all. I mean, he's won a Stanley Cup. He's been a 1,000+ point player, and it's just he scored 76 goals in the 1992-93 season. And yet none of this is good enough for the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2023. He was one of the best players in the league in the 1990s. He was an incredible player. But the reason why he is being held out of the Hockey Hall of Fame is because he's Russian. He's Russian, and because of the whole political BS going on over there with Russia and Ukraine and everything going on over there. This is what has been said. Don't expect Russian candidates to gain entry into the Hockey Hall of Fame anytime soon due to politics. So, so totally disregard the whole idea that he defected from the Soviet Union to come over here and play. Totally disregard everything he's done in the NHL. The goal scoring, the points, everything. The Stanley Cup that he won. Just throw all that away. It's strictly because, Russia. I'm sorry. This infuriates me. I don't care what country you're from. If you are good enough if you have the numbers and you have the points and you have basically everything that you need to be a Hall of Famer, I don't care what country you're. I don't care if you've come from Mars. If you're good enough to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, you need to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Alexander Mogilny needs to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. He has been overlooked for years now, even before the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. He has been overlooked for years, and there's no excuse for it. To me, there's absolutely no excuse for it. And needless to say, there are some people who they're not real happy. And it's, it's crazy. But yeah, as this article said, but there is an ulterior motive behind Mogilny's continued snubs. He's Russian. Forget about the fact that he defected. Forget about the fact that he defected to come over here and play. And as Rob Rossi of the Pittsburgh Penguins, he's the broadcaster. He said, a person that he spoke to, he said not to expect any Russian candidates to gain entry into the Hockey Hall of Fame anytime soon because of the politics of it. He said, the bar is high enough for a Russian player to gain entry, but now it's just easier to not even put a Russian player in. So you're telling me that when Evgeny Malkin retires, you're not going to put Malkin in? You're not going to put Pavel Datsyuk in the Hall of Fame? You're not going to put, trying to think, what other really good Russian players are there right now in the league that are for sure Hall of Famers? Those are a couple right there. You're not going to put Malkin in? You're not going to put Datsyuk in? You're not going to put any other really good Russian player? You're not going to put Ovechkin when he retires? You're telling me because of this whole political BS, you're not going to put these players in? Malkin's not going to go in? Ovechkin's not going to go in? Datsyuk, who is still, I guess Datsyuk technically isn't actually retired, but you're not going to put him in? You're not going to put any of these players in for the crime of the fact that they were born in Russia. I'm sorry. This drives me crazy. This is such crap. I don't care where you come from. If you've got the credentials to be known as a Hall of Famer, you need to be put in the Hall of Fame. This is just insane. And it's crazy. And needless to say, there are some fans that were upset. Greg Wyshynski went and said Pierre Turgeon instead of Alex Mogilny is a mortal sin. What the F are we even doing here? He gets it. He gets it. As good of a player as Pierre Turgeon was, and he was, he doesn't have the numbers Mogilny has. He was nowhere near the numbers that Mogilny has. Mogilny has a Stanley Cup. I don't believe Turgeon does. But then another one. Down goes Brown. Says, no Mogilny again. Unbelievable. You think? Ian Mendez. Now, I mean, these are some of the ones. I mean, these are well-known names that are kind of out there in the hockey ether here. And Ian Mendez commented on Down Goes Brown when he said no Mogilny again. Unbelievable. Ian Mendez then says, I would like a full backstory on why Alex Mogilny, one of the greatest snipers of his generation, is continually omitted from the Hall of Fame. add in his harrowing backstory of defecting from Russia, and this should be one of the easiest Hall of Fame slam dunks of all time. Thank you. Thank you. To me, this to me is just absolutely insane. And then another one, Arpan Basu. I think that's, if I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize. But he says, what the hell did Alex Mogilny do to these people? He didn't do anything. What he did was being born in Russia. That's his crime. His crime was being born in the wrong country. I mean, this is absolutely, to me, this is absolutely insane. And then another guy said Wyatt Arndt, A-R-N-D-T, he said, absolute joke of an organization at Hockey Hall of Fame. Just call it the Hockey Hall of Friends. At least be honest about what you're doing. Your voting committee is made up of cowards. At least own up to your votes. Alex Mogilny deserves to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Yes, he does. And it is insane to me that because of this political BS, it's crazy. And yeah, it also says here, it says uncertain future with Russia's war in Ukraine having no clear end in sight. And if Rossi's information is correct, it's hard to see when a player like Alex Mogilny ever gets elected into the Hall of Fame. Another question, as I just talked about, what about Evgeny Malkin? What about Alex Ovechkin? When they are eligible for the Hockey Hall of Fame, do they get denied? Malkin, he's got 3 Stanley Cup rings. He's got well over 1,000 points. He's Hall of Fame worthy. To me, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Same with Alex Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin is going to break Wayne Gretzky's goal record. He's a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. But again, what was their crime? They were born in Russia. And to omit these players because of that fact, I don't care the whole political, garbage. If they're good enough to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and Alex Mogilny, I mean, I remember being, in junior high and high school watching Mogilny play, and I was just like, oh my God. I mean, watching him on the Buffalo Sabres alongside Pierre Turgeon, Alex Mogilny was one of the main reasons why Buffalo in 1993 advanced out of the first round of the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. When they beat the Boston Bruins in the Adams Division semifinals. Even though then they ended up getting swept in the second round by Montreal, still Alexander Mogilny, with his numbers and everything that he's done, Stanley Cup champion, the fact that he is not in the Hall of Fame just because of the fact that, he's Russian, and the fact that he has been denied many times. I mean, this has been a thing been talked about for a couple of years as to why is Mogilny constantly being denied for the Hall of Fame when he should be in. He's got the numbers for it. He's a Stanley Cup champion. He scored over 1,000 points. I mean, there's no excuse. There's no excuse to keep him out of the Hockey Hall of Fame. And the fact that they go and say, it's because Russia. I'm sorry, that's a cop-out to me. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care what kind of political BS is going on right now. If you're a Russian hockey player, like Mogilny, like Malkin, like Ovechkin, you've got the numbers. You should be in the Hall of Fame. No question. And not to take away from guys like Tom Barrasso and Henrik Lundqvist and Pierre Turgeon. and Caroline, what was her name? Where was that? They gave the list. I can't remember what was her name. Caroline Ouellette, and then of course Ken Hitchcock and Pierre Lacroix were put in as builders. But and like I said, no disrespect to Henrik Lundqvist, Mike Vernon, Tom Barrasso, and Pierre Turgeon. To not have Alex Mogilny in that list is a crime. To me, it is an absolute crime. And it's good to see that a lot of people are not happy with this. A lot of people are saying this is a flipping disgrace. And it's true. The fact that the Hockey Hall of Fame can just go and say, well, we just it's easier for us to not put any Russian players in. So like we said, so when Malkin and Ovechkin come up for when they're eligible to be Hall of Famers, you're not going to put them in either. They're not going to go in. I think that's it's a complete cop out. It's BS, and I'm one who Mogilny deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, especially considering what he went through to even come over here to come to North America to play in the NHL. What he had to go through to defect from the Soviet Union. Which, to defect from the Soviet Union, I mean, hello, you're talking life and death back then. The Soviet Union was not exactly a free and open society. They didn't want people defecting. If they caught you trying to defect, they would kill you back then. That's what Alex Mogilny risked to come to North America and play in the NHL. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. For him to constantly be denied is a crime to me. But the reason, now that they're saying that he's being denied, to me is even more infuriating. Just because, his crime was being born Russian. I think it's BS. Alex Mogilny needs to be in the Hall of Fame. And it will be interesting to see. How long are they going to keep this as the standard? Because when Evgeny Malkin and Alex Ovechkin retire, and they're eligible for the Hall of Fame, what's the Hall of Fame going to do? They were born in Russia. What are they going to do? They're going to keep them out too? I think it's such a crock to me. And Mogilny, to me, should be in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. And I mean, he was an absolutely incredible goal scorer. And to not be in the Hall of Fame because of the crime of being born in Russia is just, it's nuts to me. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you guys have that same feel? Do you think Alex Mogilny deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Or do you think that the Hockey Hall of Fame is doing the right thing and denying him and any other Russian player entry into the Hall of Fame because of the political landscape? I'd love to know what you guys think. Again, to me, Alex Mogilny should be in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. Again, I don't care what country you're from. I could care less whether you could be, if you're a good enough hockey player. I don't care if you came from Pluto. If you're a good enough hockey player to be Hall of Fame worthy, you should be in the Hall of Fame. I'd love to know what you guys think, though. Let me know in the comments section. And yeah, as a fan who grew up watching Alex Mogilny and watching how good he was, the fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame is just insane to me. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments section. And also, if you haven't done it yet, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, turn on if you want to turn on notifications to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded. Hit the little bell, and that will turn notifications on. And again, let me know what you guys think. To me, I think this is, to continually deny a player like Alexander Mogilny entry into the Hall of Fame because Russian is insane. But let me know what you guys think. Again, hit like and subscribe. Hit the little bell if you want to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded. Go ahead and do that if you are so inclined. And crazy. Like I said, to me, Mogilny needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later.